What if we're not meant to leave the matrix? What if we're not meant to escape the matrix? Maybe there's a deeper purpose to the matrix. Hmm. And that, my friend, is what we're going to explore today in this video. I'm sure you can really resonate with those moments where you're like, I got to get out of here. You start seeing things a little bit clearer. You start going down different rabbit holes when it comes to, let's say, conspiracy theories. You start to see how the world is being run. We start getting obsessed with that. we start then we start then having really awkward conversations with friends and family, telling everyone about our discoveries, thinking they're going to really agree with me now. They're really gonna understand this. They're gonna follow me. They're gonna follow my lead, and you can spend a lot of time trying to force people into seeing your new way of seeing. And I feel this is one of the biggest parts of what we could call being in the matrix. We're waking up within the matrix setup where there's stuff going on. You could say certain people are asleep, some people are more awake, some people are processing, waking up, remembering. We could label people as, yeah, they're still asleep. Oh my, they don't agree with me. They don't see the way that I see. And I feel like this is the biggest part of the awakening process, part of your own individual journey, is how you shift from trying to force people within the matrix to see. And that's a really key discovery, and it's one that I've discovered after years and years and years of spending trying to make people wake up, make people see a certain way. That is forced based mentality. And it's de-energizing for yourself. It's de-energizing for the people in front of you. It's heavily reactive. It's very heavily catabolic. And it's within that of how we navigate that part of the human experience, that part of being in the matrix. Because one thing you'll find is that you can be in the matrix, but be awake within it. You can simultaneously be awake in it, awake within the dream, if you want to call it like that. But then you can be so awake. Feel that ego expand there, my chest puffed up. We could be so, yeah. That spiritual pride coming in there. Sorry about that, guys. But we just, we start becoming so awake. I'm just gonna keep this in. But you start to see things a little bit differently. You start to see clear, but then you start to obviously you start to kind of expand a little bit more. That's better. And then you start to see that you don't have to convince anyone of anything. You don't have to make someone believe what you now see. Because like I said, that's force, that's reactive, force-based actions of mentality. Power versus force. David Hawkins dropped that in there right now. That's very much poignant to this process. So we're shifting from force into power. That's the journey. But doing this all whilst in the matrix setup, because you're naturally going to have different people at different stages. No one's better, no one's worse. There'll probably be a time when you think that you are better than the people that appear slightly further behind. That's okay as well. So the space, land, you've got to forgive yourself for that, for the spiritual pride that we naturally cultivate. And that's definitely a big part of the process of our journey of letting that go. Forcefully making ourselves humble because we don't really want to be. We like being better than others. You know how it is. Yes. And, it's through that process where we're like, damn, we can really just take the foot off the accelerator. We can influence things in a totally different way. And you know what really influences the matrix, or people in the matrix, the people that we'd say that maybe are asleep, is just checking my microphone there. Boo! Is being your radical self, aligning with your radical fuck yes self. Because it's when when you're fully aligned with that person, because how people react and respond to anything doesn't bother you. You actually get to the point where you just don't feel like you need to tell people about anything. You just let them be. You be fully you, and you allow them to be them, and everything's fine without trying to change anything. You stop trying to change yourself. You just allow yourself to be yourself. And through that process, you allow other people to be themselves as well. Boomtown. That's it. And that's what it really is about. So there's no need to leave the matrix. One of the reasons why we want to leave the matrix is because we go through that force-based mentality of trying to force people into seeing what we see. And it's from the frustrations of that, of how people respond to us, that makes us want to leave. Who'd have thought it? And it's from our own inner resistance, friction, and frustration, which drives us into this mindset of wanting to leave. And it's the inward journey of releasing resistance, of needing to control everything. This is just dropping in. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's our navigating our own neurosis and letting that go, which leads us to being more authentic, which leads us to allowing people to be how they want to be, letting people have their beliefs, their thoughts, their ideologies, whatever that may be, being able to receive someone's reactivity. If you've read or haven't read Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland, I recommend you read that right now. Go and find the audiobook. It's free on Spotify. A little hook, a little tip there for you. Go and check out that. It's very, very relevant when it comes to talk about pendulums in this whole strata. Because within the matrix, there's different thought energetic structures going on that if we're not aware, we can get sucked into and influenced by. So us being our authentic self, someone can be reactive to us and you can say, I understand why you would see it like that. And just that one sentence alone has been an absolute game changer, because that way you stop the momentum dead. Because if someone's coming out within a volatility, they've got an ideology, they've got an opinion, let's say, for example, of how the government should be, you can either strongly agree with them, which is going to be reactive in itself. Yeah, those motherfuckers. You could say that, but then you could be the other way and be like, no, I disagree with that. And then you see you've started to create this whole volatility either way you go. But if you use the sentence, yeah, I understand. I could totally understand why you would see that from the way the world is set up at the minute. That's actually been really, really handy with my family, with navigating family relationship conversation dynamics. But it's through this that those little moments of where you you kind of like stop the circuit, you stop that momentum. There's a moment where you'll recognize that person will be like, oh, they kind of haven't disagreed with me. They're not jumping on. They're not agreeing with me, not disagreeing with me, but they've said something that's receiving me. And there's like this unspoken, not awkwardness. Awkwardness is the wrong word, but there's this unspokenness of like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, so it's kind of dead. And it was like, okay, just what do we talk about now? So then that's the whole of the story. But it's these little moves that you'll make that start to nudge people along. You're nudging yourself along because you're naturally becoming more aware. You're surrendering the need to control. You're surrendering the need to have force-based actions and volatility and reactivity. You're not reacting in the same way. And it's through this process that you positively influence yourself as well as then reflect into your energetic environment. Obviously, you've got the person in front of you. That's the physical representation. But then you also have the energetic environment. So that's like around. That's like, we could go humankind, mankind. Yeah, let's expand. We're influencing the whole damn lot of them just by saying, yeah, man, I understand what you're saying. Cool. It is mad that one little thing can really kind of shift and have a really positive influence, all jokes aside, to the larger collective. So When you think or feel that you need to leave the matrix, question why. Reflect, look at how you're being. How is your level of reactivity? How are you responding? How are you being called to dig a little bit deeper within yourself? Is there any like dark parts of your psyche that you need to be more aware of, that need a little bit of light invited in to shine on it to help you navigate this? And have fun with it. Have fun being in the matrix. Then you're gonna come to this stage where it's gonna be fun being in here. You can just be in here, in the contrast, in the matrix, doing your thing, drinking your coffee, doing whatever you want to do, letting people be how they want to be, you be how you want to be. If people disagree with you, cool. If people agree with you, cool. Everything is cool. I'm not saying this flippantly because I've been Mr. Resistance. I've been Mr. Force-based mentality. I've thrived in it, loved it for years. Trying to convince every goddamn person my ideology. Yeah. Oh, my friends, love it, man. Let's keep vibing in the matrix. Let me know where you're at. Let me know where you're at. Yes, please share a little comment. Come and vibe with me in the matrix. Let's keep waking up. Let's keep remembering. Let's keep doing our thing. And oh man, you know what? I cannot wait to see you already in the next video.